So I should try grinder, shouldn't I? That's what I'm going wrong. They're all going to go somewhere warm after. That's why you've got the scarf on. It's like, are you drinking? You guys all drinking? Right. I mean, like, not just drink. Are you drinking alcohol? Yeah. Okay. You got some in your mouth now. Where's the sun gone as well, Mara? Somebody's vanished. Are they coming back? Is it your enthusiasm that scared them off? Like, I'm not sitting next to him. I'm falling asleep there. And you shuffled down one as well, haven't you? Is that just keep it fresh? All right. Marcelo Bielsa's in. Nice to see you, sir. Nice to see you. Football fans there. I realise I'm pointing out somebody and saying they look like someone, and all you guys at the back of the dance like, I haven't got a fucking clue. Dead ring, in case you're wondering. How's the back row doing? You all right? Riff raff sitting there in the darkness. That's the nightclub tactic. What time are we on a Sunday after? Oh, it's 7:40. I can say fingered someone, can't I? No, we're shaking heads going, no, we're not having that. So. Good. And you're still here as well. That's why you're still here. Not like you are. Who's carrying you? You're carrying her? My daughter. Yeah, again, sometimes the things just come out of my mouth before. Good. So, ladies and gents, are you ready for your first act of this section? All right. Right. Oh, they're having their own little gig down there in the middle, aren't they? What's going on here, ladies? Are you just laughing at each other? You don't know them? Or do you really know them? You're just disowning them? Are you alright? Are you having a giggle at something random, or is it the gig just reached? Has the first joke of the night, has Jem's joke finally landed over there in the middle? They're crying, look at them, bless them. Well, mind you, to be fair, people have been to see me before and left crying, I'll be honest. So. Why did you say those things? Are you two alright? What's your name? Oh yeah, point at her, yeah, across her. What's your name? Vicky. Oh no, you compose yourself now, Vicky. Who are you in sport, Vicky? Marie. Oh fucking, I should have known. Marie's not the ones in there. So, what is it? Was it something personal over there that we're having a bit of a giggle at, or what is it? Come on, you share with the room now. You see, you can't hide in here. There's only 350 people. It'll be all right. She was getting fingered. Oh, you sat there. You guys seriously different. Sat there, all people like, oh, they're saying really nasty things. I'm not enjoying that. These two are she was getting fingered. I mean, she might have been. That's probably why the tears are there. I don't really know. It's like, actually, carry on. I shouldn't be saying wrong hole out loud on a Sunday afternoon, should I? I'll be honest. I'm sorry. I just clearly objectified you to apologise. It's your fault, that. That's like, okay, good. So, Vicky, was it? Sorry. Oh, have you come from Hartlepool as well, then, or do you live in? Who said? Right, I'm not sticky, Vicky. Look, she's got a lot more class than that, and she looks like she took the shit out of you. So there you go. If a fight breaks out, I'm on Vicky's side no matter what. Alright, would you mind being the cheerleader for this section, Vicky? You don't want to? Having our own private gig in the middle here, we're going to laugh at our own shit, I'm not cheering at anything you produce, fuck off. I'll be honest with you, whatever she says goes, I'm with it. Where have you been all gig? Look at this. Right, sir, stand up. Look at this, he's a beautiful man here. Look, is he your partner? Is he thick as fuck? He has to, look at him, he can't be intelligent, look at him. His nipples. Are you an intelligent man? Probably not. Have you been to uni? What were you studying? Sports, yeah, of course. I was studying sports. fuck, because I'm beautiful, I don't have to be intelligent. What do you do? Have you got a job, or do you just like lurk around outside clothes shops going, come in here, come in? I work for Abercrombie and Fitch. What do you do? You're a personal trainer. What beautiful people do, they make ugly people sweat. Get in here, you fat bastard. Doesn't matter what you do, you'll never look like me. What's your name? Connor. Of course it's Connor, the name of the beautiful. Connor, Latin for warrior. It probably isn't, I don't know, it just sounds right. Right, a beautiful Connor, and what's your name? Sasha, are you a personal trainer as well? No. Oh, are you I was going to say a victim of personal training. That's not what I call it, is it? It's customers. Was he your trainer and one day it was like, I'm going to think it and not say it. That's what's going to happen here. I realise you went to... Were you a customer or is that how you met?
He was the manager of the gym that I used to
That's how they do, isn't it? Like, just pick off the ones that are just doing cardio. And then we'll just like do a kettlebell exercise next to him, like with ass out. Yeah. That was 8. No, never mind. Never. Right, Connor, you're going to be a cheerleader when you our first act of this stage. Are you okay? What kind of cheer? Just, in fact, just give us a cheer. Random cheer. Give us a cheer that you would give if somebody's just completed a 3,000 rep burpee marathon. Is that a thing? I'm called Jim, but I've never been in one, have I? Let's be honest. It's like our parents gave us names of places to avoid. I'm called Jim, my brother's called Bradford. Can you demonstrate a really big loud cheer for us? 3, 2, 1. Right, well, okay, fair enough. Now drop and give me 20. No, we're gonna get James Cook to the stage. I'm gonna check I've got the order right. Yes, we're gonna get James Cook to the stage. Connor's gonna give a cheer. Everyone else is gonna join in. Are you ready for your first dance in this session? Please, Connor! Everyone join in! Please,
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Cook, stand-up open mic set. Before I get started, I want you all to know I am not a 12-year-old. I am actually 19. The reason I wanted to specify this is I know it can be confusing in this day and age, seeing a child with a microphone in front of a crowd, doing something other than testifying against the BBC. But I promise, depending on what you're into, of course. Don't worry. If offended anyone. Ever time, I will only be going for around about 5 minutes, but I promise each and every one of you, I'm going to give you a really good 5 minutes. I said the same thing to my girlfriend, but she's agreed. But I do have to say that my look with the ladies is not all down to like a charm. Just before I came here, a lady approached me in the street. But she did ask if I lost and looking for my mum. That wasn't even my favourite line. Let me tell you all a little bit about myself though. I've just started to get into gym. And no, gym is a big bloke. But when I'm not at the gym, I enjoy drinking and getting ID'd. I'm having a fucking fantastic time looking like this. But in all seriousness, me getting to the bar these days is like going through passport security. I've got to get my ID out 3 times before I'm patted down, told to take off my shoes, and then bend over and cough. That's just and as you can imagine, if they're IDing me, I'm really concerned. I don't know how to do it though. Plausible deniability always goes down well in court. Not that I'd know. But when I'm not making myself on stage, I'm a gynaecologist in Oakley. I say gynaecologist, I work with that much cunt, might as well and be. Give me a shout if you've heard Wilkley, West Yorkshire. For any of you that didn't shout, you might know it by its nickname, which is God's Waiting. Rightly called so, because me just being there brings your average age down to about 85. Basically, you know that thing us young people do? Scanning over there for a young person, no fucking chance. Basically, that thing us young people do. We see an elderly person, we give them a little smile and a wave, so we know we're not going to steal the throat lozenges. By the time I've got from my car to work, I've got fucking lockjaw. But if you still don't believe me, I tried getting my 4-year-old cousin a birthday card the other day. No luck whatsoever. They range from 70 to 80 to sorry for your loss. Finally going into congratulations on the inheritance. But we're in November, times are hard, Christmas is coming up, so I've started working weekends with my dad, doing a little bit of landscape gardening. Now you look at me, I know what you're all thinking, manual labour, really? But I've always been told I look like a landscape gardener, so, an uphill gardener, should I say. But as I said, times are hard. I even tried claiming for an accident that wasn't my fault the other day. Apparently my birth doesn't count. But when I said earlier that I'm a single man, you ladies' eyes lit up. From the looks here, some of you men as well. I'm wondering how a beautiful specimen such as myself could possibly be single. Well, I wasn't going to go into it, but my girlfriend cheated on me recently. I feel like we've all really bonded though. But I don't know what it is with relationships, I don't know if you can relate. If it's not my mother, tell me she wants grandkids before she passes away. Grandma, tell me settle down and fall in love. Or just my dad tell me hurry up and come out the closet so he can get that. So that he can make 20 quid off my uncle when I am at lunch. But when I said earlier that I've been cheated on, I do believe in karma. My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, rang me up the other day, tears. She was distraught. She said she had a bottle of pills and that she tried to commit 3 times. The wrong answer were telling her she'd commit to a relationship like that, we'd still be together. But I'm not bitter. I'm not spiteful. When I see her walking around town with that new guy, I am genuinely so happy for both of them. It's nice seeing my dad happy these days. Even if I haven't seen him in 15 years. But ladies and gentlemen, you've been fantastic. I've been James Cook. If any of you lovely ladies looking for someone that's going to look 20 at
Very nice of James to be here. He's got to rush off and referee a snooker match now, so. He's 38 really, he's like Benjamin Button. He's just used too much Olay, that's all that is. Olay, that's all that is. Single comedian, right? It's like, we need to go to your gym. Where is your gym? In the light, right? So we need to go to the light. And yeah, the many single ladies at the gym. Will James and I have success? We won't. We'll look like a gay couple of internal mass. Do that a lot of sort of reference to get because I'm sort of a camp performer and I sort of need to. I am straight. I'm proud, but there's loads of us, so no parade. It'd be weird, wouldn't it? What are you into? Women, yeah. Do you understand them? No. You don't say the time. Nobody does. Who is that? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for one more act in this section? Coming right start true from again, 3, 2, 1, go! We're going to get Aaron Carter stage! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Aaron Carter!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aaron Carter. No, not the 90s teen pop sensation. No, I'm the brother of one of the Backstreet Boys. And unlike the Backstreet Boys, I do care who you are. I do care where you're from. And I do care what you did. Because I don't want herpes. Baby! Had they used my lyrics back in the day, maybe they wouldn't be such a set of irritating arseholes. Yes, we are starting with an STD Backstreet Boys joke. Charlie, would you like to know why?
Go on.
I'll tell you why. Because I want it that way. So, Aaron Carter, if you don't know, was a 90s teen pop sensation, most known for his song I Want Candy. His name his new crush, crack cocaine. Speaking of crack, the only time you'll ever hear me use the words I want candy is when I'm a prostitute. He's probably had plenty of them back in his day as well. He's tried most things as a lad. Just for instance, last year he came out as bipolar before retracting it. Bisexual before retracting it earlier on this year, just because he wanted to start a family. It's quite funny because earlier last year I came out as bipolar before I retracted it this year. I just had mixed feelings about it. So I am single, in case anyone would, and I've just gone back to online dating. And I've realised I'm a bit of a god when it comes to online dating. And what I mean, Charlie, God, is that the girls tend to ignore my existence until they're at the lowest ebb. I have tried dating in real life. Just last week I was in my local supermarket, pint of milk, meal for one, walked up to the checkout, beautiful, beautiful checkout assistant. I walked up to her, I put my items down, she looks at me. Single, are you? Oh, fucking hell, I'm in here. So I'm like, what gives that away? Because you're fucking ugly, that's why. So the week after, I thought I'm going to go back into the same supermarket and I'm going to try a different tact. This time when I go in, I'm going to look for the checkout assistant who's most likely to sleep with me. So I grab my items and I walk down the back of checkouts and then I find her. I walk over to her, I unload my items and give her the eye. Unexpected item in the buying area. Obviously wasn't expecting the bollocks as well. It's alright, because I work in a supermarket and my boss is at back, so she's going to think I'm a right weirdo. But yeah, nice conversation come Tuesday morning. But in my defence, it doesn't actually say anywhere, you can't do it. Listen. Maybe I should take advice to Deirdre down in the local cafe, who's now got a sign in the window after she caught me in there, stood in the corner, pants down to my ankles, hovering above a bin, labelled tags. So recently I've been doing looking into the meaning of a name, and I found a really good quote. And the quote that I found was that parents give a lot of thought, deep thought, into choosing the name of a cradle of joy. Well, they obviously haven't met my fucking mother. Immense attention consisted of opening the book, turning to page 1, picking the first fucking name in there, and back to down a bottle of fucking wine. So I started looking into it a bit more, and I found another Aaron who was in the Bible. So for those of you who don't know, Aaron in the Bible was the brother of Moses, and he was mainly known for his miraculously blossoming rod. Take that as you will. Now, unfortunately for Aaron, he became a bit of a cropper trying to swim the North Jordan River. Like most men that have followed him, except for Peter fucking Andre. My last name is Carter, which basically means to transport goods out or wagon. So if there's anything that you've learned tonight, my name basically means that I transport goods by a car or wagon using my miraculously blossoming rod. That's the profile. Thank you very much. Take care, guys.
Whenever you go shopping and you see him in the queue, avoid. I mean, we are rapidly getting through this, but I'm going to stop what normally get our next act out with it. Paul Abbott to the stage in just a moment. One of you, we've got a fan over there somewhere. No, just Kerry, who's there. Kerry was now incredibly. No, she's not. She's. So, are you ready to start the tune for us again, Connor? Thank you very much. 3, 2, 1, start the tune now. Everyone, to meet on the stage. Everybody, Paul Abbott!
He's been asking for the hug all afternoon. Well, good evening. It's rather fabulous. Yes? Oh, she's quite talkative. And you sound like you're actually having a really good time, yeah? And I can see some people smiling as well, but some of you, I assume it's just trapped wind. Now, my name is Paul. Underwhelming, I know. I was going to change it to something more exciting, like Sebastian, until I realised that I'd sound like an upmarket Henry Hoover. Now, you may not think it to look at me, but I came out as gay about 20 years ago. I know, something gives it away. And yeah, I came out 20 years ago and I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. But when they said we were doing this in the wardrobe, I had horrible flashbacks to the closet. But it's not too bad, is it, this wardrobe for a nuclear bunker? And I was told that this would be the sort of place, if the worst should happen, and we end up in a nuclear war, that we'll be sent. It's got that really big door at the top of the stairs. It's got a bar at the back. The downside is it's not particularly well ventilated. As learned to my cost when I farted in the dressing room before I came out. And now I have to wear glasses for the rest of my adult life. Now, I've written quite a lot of jokes over the last few weeks, which is unsurprising, seeing as we're doing this. And I've learned that I don't particularly like gags, because it's very hard to talk with your mouth full. And I do wish more people would pay heed of this at parties. Is it not enough that you regale me with the stories of the pissing, shitting, and sleeping habits of your 4-year-old child? But to do that with one's mouth full of food is to pebble dash one's ensemble. So I am taking drastic action, and in future, I will be attending all parties in a PVC one-piece. Now, that would not have gone down very well at Marcus and Saskia's party. I went down very well. Now, they weren't always called Marcus and Saskia. No. I've known them a long time. They used to be called Tom and Jane. And then they got a bigger house, and she got bigger boobs. And then they got another house, and they changed the name by deed poll. They have 3 children called Persephone, Marigold, and John. And it doesn't take a massive leap of faith now, does it, to work out which was born in the detached, which was born in the terrace, and which was born in a plant pot. Now, Marcus and Saskia are the sort of people who should never be allowed to watch programmes like MasterChef on TV. But to be fair, we're all a little pretentious about food these days, are we not? Where once upon a time we would put salt on our food at the table, we would rub salt into the skin of our meat and our fish. Now we season everything. And we all watch these cookery programs, and we all get quite used to seeing the unusual things on television, like velouté, ceviche, Gordon Ramsay. And my favourite moment is when you find people want to burn everything. So Marcus and Saskia, last time I went over for dinner, they served a burned butter sauce. Then they served a creme brulee, which is a burned custard. And they've got into this strange habit, it's quite fashionable at the moment, of charring your lettuce. It's a thing, they char lettuce. But who the fuck is setting fire to a salad? And the other thing that I really, really love, and this happens on MasterChef all the time, is the ballotine. Now, if you don't have some skin with some meat on top and some seasoning, and it's all wrapped up in and then they pop it in a sous vide machine, whatever the fuck that is, and then on a zip fastener injury. And I bought a shed. I bought a new shed. Every boy should have one. I got it from Heston. Every boy should have one. I got it from Heston's online, and it said the wood was really well seasoned. So I was very excited when it arrived, and I went outside and I licked it. And it tasted fucking awful, so I sent it back. Now, the zip fastener thing. Don't you think zip fastener sounds like one of those areas from the shipping forecast? Like Cromarty, Dogger, Pharaoh, zip fastener, rising slowly, visibility moderate or good, just like I like my boys' jeans. Now, I may not look the type to have friends with benefits. I may not look the type to have friends with benefits, but I do. Mostly universal credit. And one such friend came to see me the other night, and zip, got stuck. Zip fastener injury. Gave him what you might on the shipping forecast refer to as a German bite. But that'll teach me to go doggo with the BBC. So anyway, I was a little bit embarrassed that I'd called his sausage in his, so I got out of there pretty quickly because I didn't want to rub salt in the wound. Now that is pretty much it from me, but I can still see some people smiling. And if that means you need to fart, for the love of God, go outside. I've been Paul, you've been fabulous. Thank you very much.
Now, I forgot to do a bit of admin earlier on. Who's bought a raffle ticket? Who would like to win a 47p bottle of wine? I think it's wine. It might be some of the vinegar that Paul was referring to when he said just... No, it's wine. It's really, really good wine. Originally, you were going to get 2 bottles of the stuff, but we added it to the rider backstage. Right, so what I'm going to... Andy, in fact, you... Oh, no, you've got a ticket. Who's that? Right, I'm going to come over here. Jack, what number out there? 111. Oh, you just dropped it. That way round.
I think so.
Okay. I was gonna. I can't even tell if they're coloured. Have we got number 6 in? Not in the room. Number 6 in. Right. If not, I'm going to redraw it. If not, 3, 2, 1. Number 6 cheer now. Right, we're redrawing it. That's what's happening. You lost out on. Unless he was. I was like, no, I'm in, but I'm not having that. Fuck off.
Come on.
Alright, I've got number 12! There's number 12 here! Probably. Are you just pulling out your friends' ones? Are they upstairs? Is number 12 in? Or are you just like, no, we're not having that? It is genuine. I have undersold it. It is genuinely wine. It's a fruit. It's a fruit. Oh, is that Ray? It's Drew. Drew, okay, you're going to come and get your... Round of applause to you, everyone! We couldn't spend a lot of money on the wine because charity. Alright? Because she works in the shop and she was not selling us anything good. That's charity. Alright, then we've got a couple more acts to get through. Now, at every gig, we reach that little bit of a stage, what we call the middle lull. That happened about 10 minutes ago and I thought I saw it right out, so we're in there now. Ladies and gents, so what I'm going to get you, just to get you all ready for these final few acts, people at the back, give us an ooh! People at the front, give us an ah! People in the middle, give us a wonder bra! I didn't think you were all going to do it, to be fair, you did. I don't know why. Right, you're up, shut up! They're the acts as well. I've been all this meeting over here. Shh, no. Quiet time. Are you ready for another act? All right, then we've got Elliot Davis coming to the stage in just a moment. Middle what? Is that you guys? You Elliot? Oh, you're the Wonder Bra. He brought his cheering brigade. Wonderful. Do you all work with him? Oh, yeah. The spokesperson of everyone in the room. No, they don't work with him. Was that you, sir? Oh, that's you, this gentleman here. How do you know him then? He's your nephew. All right. I'm going to say, guys over there, shut the fuck up! Keep it quiet over there, please. Thank you. Nephew. Is it family? Oh, okay. All right. Could you hear the way he said that? No, we all love him. Was this like nudging in? Say it. We all love him. No, it's nothing. We all love him. So, when was the last time you saw him? Christmas last year, was it? Do you get together regularly? Has anyone got a relative that they really love but they only see at Christmas or weddings? Yeah. I'm genuinely, I also, to friends, like, I'm not unless they're already married. Because I'm not going to any more fucking weddings. And I've just recently been invited to a baby shower. And unless that's a thing where babies fall out of the sky, I am not fucking going. It's like, yeah, like me and Susan have had a child and now you're going to have to spend 50 quid on stuff for us. Fuck off! Weddings, baby showers, I'm not having it. Okay. So, what's your name? Sorry, cousin, was it? Nephew. What's your name, sir? Rory, okay, you're off. Connor, you're too beautiful to get to cheer anymore. And the beautiful couple over here just need to look wonderful. You are ugliest. No, I'm just. You are equally beautiful in your own special way. I've heard that. Welcome. So you're going to cheer for Elliot to the stage. Are you ready for the next act, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah! Please start cheering!
Good evening, everybody. Hello. My name is Elliot Davis, and I am very excited to be here. It is my first stand-up comedy gig. Yeah. And I want to take a moment and just give you a little bit of a reminder. We are all here for Cancer Research UK. It's why we've been here training for 8 weeks, which means that if you don't laugh at my jokes in the next 5 minutes, you're all heartless bastards. It's a good start, thanks. Cheers. So, deep down, I am a very kind-hearted soul. I like to help people who are struggling. Some people like this, other people don't. Take, for example, recently, I witnessed a grown man handing over his hard-earned money to purchase a matching top and bottom red Adidas tracksuit. And I had to intervene. I didn't know what was going on with him. He didn't take too kindly to it. He shrugged me off and he gave me a lewd gesture, which wasn't very nice. And the only explanation I have in my head is that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, he did want to look like a human Crayola. No, where I can help people is with technology, and especially older people with technology. I don't know about you, you give an older person a piece of technology, and it's basically like watching them try to tame a wild stallion, like that. And that is how they tame wild stallions, let me tell you. I've seen it. No, now you see, I've been labelled as somewhat of a technical genius in my wider friends and family network. Not too pleased about this. It's basically because I'm the youngest, right? That's normally the reason. I wasn't too happy because, personally, I don't really feel like tech geniuses are all they're cracked up to be. Take Steve Jobs, for example. Steve created Apple, massive company, everybody knows it. He revolutionised the music industry with the iPod. But he was also the mind that decided to take the phrase, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away," just a little bit too seriously. And look where that got him. Now, I often have to be called in to be the mediator when it comes to things like remote controls. And when I say mediator, I want you to think of me as Ross Kemp. If Ross Kemp did gritty documentary series on the dangers of television peripherals. Now, they've actually said that an average UK household has 4 remote controls in the living room. Which basically means I can assume that when my mum and dad want to change the channel, it's basically like watching the team at Bletchley Park, frantically trying to crack the Nazi Germany Enigma code. Now, big businesses, they're catching on to this, and they're catching on. They understand that there are a fair few technically deficient people out there. Take Netflix. Netflix have decided to build televisions with Netflix already installed. Can I just get a cheer in the room? Who has one of these Netflix-powered televisions? Yay! Someone's doing very well. If you give me your name, I'll send you my Just Giving link. Thank you. Nearly 1,000. Yeah, so not only have they built televisions and changed televisions, they've changed the sacred remote controls, yes, that have dumbfounded many generations. They've added their own button, and it's this big white Netflix button. You've probably seen it on a remote control. Now, in my experience, I still find it quite ironic that they call them remote controls, because I've seen more control from Michael J. Fox holding a full glass of water in one hand. I'm so glad you laughed. playing a game of Operation in the other. Now, don't get me wrong, Netflix is awesome. It's brought us hundreds of world-renowned films, brought us thousands of hours of brilliant, critically acclaimed television. And it's also given my mum and dad the chance to watch Midsummer Murders whenever they want. Thanks, Netflix. Now, Netflix have come out and they've said that it takes an average person 2 minutes to find and decide on something to watch on Netflix. I heard that, 2 minutes? Bullshit. Bullshit. And the only reason I say bullshit is because I've seen family members sniff out an episode of Only Fools and Horses at Christmas on Go Plus One in 26 seconds flat. Like that with the remote, it's unbelievable. Thanks for the laugh, appreciate that. Cheers. Now, my dad announced to the family in the family WhatsApp group, thanks for that, Mum, by the way, for setting that one up. He announced that he was buying one of these smart televisions, ironic name again, but we won't go there. And being the kind soul and gentleman that I am as a son, I wanted to help him avoid a technological battle, the likes of which would make Terminator 2 Judgment Day look like a shit reenactment of a medieval battle at Roundy Park on a Sunday. And they are shit. No, I decided to share my Netflix account with my dad and my family. Yes, who owns then? Somebody owns. Someone over there, yeah. Now, I'm 26 and I don't like to exaggerate, but it's the closest thing I've got to a child, okay? Pretty much. And the gravity of this situation is quite high when you share a Netflix account. Just talking about my Netflix account gets me a little bit nostalgic. We spent our first few hours watching Sons of Anarchy. He said his first words, "Are you still watching this?" "Yes, child. I'll always be watching." He's 8 years old now. They grow up so fast. He knows everything about me. He knows my likes and my dislikes, and doesn't really see my mum and dad too much. So when he does, it's normally because they're trying to watch Breaking Bad for the 5th time, because everyone said it's the best show to watch. And to be honest, I'm surprised we've got to 2018 and we've not had a Judge Rinder topic on it yet. I can see it now. In the centre, the judge. On the left, middle-class mum and dad. And on the right, 20-something former student. The case, the compensation monthly to the amount of £7.99 for the neglect and misuse of a Netflix account. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for supporting me this evening. And as the small French onion once said, that's your lot. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Davies! Who, I was saving this to after being on, was our top fundraiser at the start today. So a round of applause for that. Although I'm now going to shit all over his parade because Steve Brennan has just overtaken him. So well done, Steve, as well. Now, ladies and gents, we've reached that stage now. First of all, you guys have been absolutely wonderful. It's a very long night to sit through comedy. It's warm in here, and you guys have been absolutely wonderful. And these are new acts, so to sit through and support them as you have done, it's been brilliant. So we are now on our last act. One more person to support. I think you're going to love him. We're going to get Graham Rain at the stage in just a moment. I'm not going to appoint a cheerleader for this. Are we all ready to cheer together for our final act of the night?
So I'd just like to say, as the last performer, it falls upon me to thank our compere Jim for all his hard work over the last 8 weeks. He's been fantastic. Thank you, Jim. But he's very strict. He did say to me that I have a tendency to overrun. If I go on for too long, he'd have no option but to come on stage and pull me off. So get fucking comfortable. Anyway, my name is Graham, I'm 41, and I have a confession. Is he there? Feeling all right? Most action I've seen in weeks. So my name's Make. I am addicted to Twitter, which is not easy when you look like this. Just to clear up a few misconceptions, I am not a gammony racist prick. I am growing this beard to look more Islamic for my Muslim brothers. And I am not a pound shop tribute to Rag and fucking Bone Man. Thank you, you're £2. There's a problem with Twitter these days, though. It used to be fun, but now it's all really binary. You're always in one of two camps. You're either leave or you'll remain. You're fascist or you're commie. You're pro-Kanye or you're not a prick. And I think I've worked out where that started from. I think I've worked out how all that began, and I blame the food manufacturing industry. Work with me on this. Specifically McCain Frozen Foods. I don't know what genius marketing department thought it up, but to ask a 7-year-old child to choose between their father and some sort of manufactured frozen good is not good. You're either daddy or your chips call me. Which one is it? Now here's how it goes on Twitter when I'm arguing. I'll find a gammony racist prick saying gammony racist things, and I'll start an argument with them, and I'll dismantle their argument tweet by tweet with wit and humour and eloquence and facts. And I'll wait for the reply, and I think, I've smashed this out of the park, I've got him nailed, and I'll get the reply. Asterix, Y-O-U, apostrophe, R-E. Fuck, game over. Grammatical error, I've lost. And in Wade's gammony racist prick number 2, with a gif of Ross from Friends explaining to Rachel from Friends the difference between your and your. Now, if you don't know what a GIF is, and I know some of you might not, a GIF is a short, soundless video that you can use to win any argument on Facebook or Twitter without even typing a fucking word. You've never known real joy unless you've destroyed someone's argument with a GIF of Alan Partridge shrugging, or Gordon Ramsay with 2 slices of bread by the side of a chef's head, calling them an idiot sandwich. But there is a problem with arguing on Twitter, and that is that it can kind of bleed over into your everyday life. Just the other day, my wife said to me, "Oh, you forgot to order the shampoo on the internet shopping again. What am I going to wash my hair with now?" I said, "Well, you could try Liquid Tree, you fascist bitch." Hashtag awkward. Now, when I'm not arguing on Twitter, I am a parent. I've got 2 kids, 9 and 11. That's not their names. I would not name my children after such a horrific event in which many people died. But I do love Fred and Rose, and thank you. I thought of that at 4 a.m. yesterday. Thank you. But no, I love Fred and Rose, but the thing is that those little cherubs have absolutely life. Which means that now, at the age of 41, I'm masturbating more than at any point since I was 14. Usually in the shower, that's why I'm banned from B&Q. And Wix. And after last week, 5 aside. But when I'm not masturbating in the shower, I tend to go online like many people do. Jim alluded to it earlier. I go onto Pornhub. For those of you who don't know Pornhub, there are 96 different categories of video on Pornhub. I've counted them. I've done extensive research. Now, with 96 different categories, as you can imagine, there are thousands, if not millions, of videos to choose from, but they've made it easy for you because there is a system with which you can choose. And other people who have just finished cracking one out will rate a video with a simple thumbs up system. Now, I don't think so. I need to let someone I don't know understand that this is good wank material. I also discovered very recently, thanks to this course, that Pornhub also has a share button. And for that, I must thank our last performer, Elliot, who... not so proud now, are we, Uncle Rory? Keep it going, Tim's going to be on in a minute. No. Now, when I'm not masturbating, well, I'll rephrase that. I don't just see masturbation as an act of sort of pleasure or indulgence. It's sometimes kind of keeping match fit in case you get called into action. In the same way that you know that Peter Crouch keeps his football boots by the front door in case Gareth Southgate calls him up for the World Cup. Come to think of it though, it's probably not fair to compare my penis to Peter Crouch. He's 6'7", it's like a fucking baguette. If I were to compare my penis to any footballer, it would probably be Paul Scholes. Small, ginger, asthmatic, dirty bastard, but everyone that's ever played with him rates him really highly. Now, occasionally, I actually get to have real sex, occasionally. And here's how it goes. We'll get the kids off to bed, make sure they're asleep. We'll put down our favourite sex towels, don't have to do another load of washing. And then we'll get down to the good stuff. Spooning quietly, we don't want to wake them up now, do we? But guaranteed, just when you're getting down to the good stuff, one of them will walk in. And it's really hard to explain to your 9-year-old son, Fred, why you're spooning his mother and playing like a double bass. It's also really hard to explain to life why your son pauses for a few moments, smiles, and gives you a thumbs up. Just like to point out, my father-in-law is in the audience, as is my wife. And I remembered about 20 minutes before coming on that my father used to play the double bass in an orchestra. My mother-in-law is a lucky lady. And that's not even a lie. Anyway, apart from the sex, I will just say that cancer is something we need to be worried about. You need to be aware of all the signs. And recently I had cause to go to the doctor. This is a true story, because I noticed something unusual with my stool. I went to the doctor, and within about 2 or 3 minutes of being there, I was up on the gurney that he keeps in his office for some bizarre reason. And I was cuddling my own knees with my pants around my ankles, and woof, straight up with what felt like the fat end of a pool cue. And I discovered 2 things that day. 1, if you eat too much beetroot, your shit looks bloody. True story. And 2, the joys of pegging. Now, Charlie here is laughing at that, which means that Charlie is a dirty bastard. Okay? If you're not laughing at that, go home, get your phone out, incognito mode, Google pegging, and just think of that as a little present from your Uncle G. Right? Now, I'm nearly done. It's got that pegging straight, thumbs up straight away, on Charlie. Yeah, he knows. So, just a quick shout. Any single ladies in, or any ladies planning to be single soon? We could always ask that one. Give us a shout. Single ladies, give us a shout. Oh, there's one in the front row. Can I give you some advice? Next time you're in the market, get yourself a fat lover, all right? big guy, okay, because we're really grateful to be there. We're very giving lovers. And the other fringe benefits of that are that you don't really need to worry about sort of grooming and personal hygiene, okay, because you don't get to be morbidly obese without being willing to eat the most disgusting thing on the menu. Just before I finish, I just want to tell you, I got a text from Fred earlier, using his sister's phone, and Fred said to me, Dad, I haven't seen you much lately, we're all rehearsals, so when you get home tomorrow, can we have a game of FIFA on the Xbox, but will you go easy on me? And I texted him back and I said, oh, Fred, man up. You're such a snowflake. And he replied, asterisk, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. So proud. But looking at the time, it looks like Jim's never going to come on and deliver his promise, so I'm off backstage for a shower. Thank you very much.
It seems like years ago it was Jem Stewart, Kerry Robinson, Drew Littler, the notorious T.I.T., Matt Granger, Nathan Drink, Steve Brennan, Mark Tucker, Louis Cruz, Ray Dorset, James Cook, Adam Carter, Paul Hobbit, Elliot Davis, and Graham Rayner. Ladies and gentlemen, massive applause to each and every one of you for coming out and supporting them. Well done. Thank you very much for all your support. You've been here, they've worked really, really hard. Some of them will continue, some of them will go out and do comedy again. So make sure you look out for those names, you know which gigs to avoid. And, thank you very, very much. As I say, without you guys, Ultra are raising money. They're helping people. They're doing wonderful events. There's going to be another one here in Leeds. I'm not sure exactly when, but look out for that. Even if one of your family members or friends are on, still grab a ticket and come and support. Also, I'd like to say a big thank you to all the team here, the bar staff and all the team Ultra. Give them a round of applause. The sound team here as well. Everyone involved at Wardrobe. I'm your host, Matt Comper. My name is Jim Bays. Although I've long gig, even I'm sick of me now, so well done for putting up with that. Safe journey home. If anyone's off out here, we're going to have a drink in the bar afterwards, hopefully. Hope to see you all again soon. Safe journey. Take care, everyone. Good night. Thank you.
Walk on. Tom, mate.